So hello guys, I have to tell you that there are a lot of people who had problem with their virtual machines and Eclipse, and especially regarding the OpenOCD and the debugging the or flashing the code. So I had figured out a very simple mechanism so that you can directly compile your code and also flash it on the board without using Eclipse OpenOCD at all. So let me tell you how you can do this with simple Linux command line code. So let's see what we have here. Uh, I have my code right here in my folder called my files, and here I have only .cpp file, and in this file I have my simple code where I am printing something on the debug port, which is the printf function which you are already using. So let us do it. So before we do it, first let's open the HTerm. So here now we have to open the HTerm like the command line code. So I will go to our workspace, whatever you had used the HTerm and for HTerm, and please go to the directory where you have HTerm. So I have my HTerm right here. So first let me open the HTerm so that we can see the output uh, of the, okay, so it's not a directory, sorry, I have to go to the directory, and now I can directly open the HTerm software. So as you can see, the HTerm is open, so I have to make sure that which port is. Normally in Linux it's USB 01, TTY USB 01, so I will connect it. So now I had already a program on my board, so just I delete this program. I received it, all the data, and then I clear it. So now my HTerm is on. So let me show you how you can first compile your code. So for this, open a terminal, a simple terminal, and then go to the Eclipse dash workspace directory. So if you do ls and it shows you the directory, here we have a lot of Eclipse workspace. This is the one which one of the virtual machine developer has given to you. If you open this workspace, change drive Eclipse dash workspace, and there we have Rhodos template. We are not using this till now, but this is the most recent version of Rhodos. So we go to this folder, change drive Rhodos template, and here you see we have a Rhodos directory. We go to this directory. So this is the first step that you have to do. First go to the Rhodos directory, and here if you see how many files are there, you will see one of the important file called setenvs.sh. So you just need to run first this file with source setenvs.sh. Then you will see this is the file which contains all the setting for the environment variable. That's mean it will note down all the directories and subdirectory addresses present inside the Rhodos. So this is the message that you will receive if this command is successfully ran. So now we have all the paths available to our command line. So first, remember when we have done Eclipse, first we had made the Rhodos Rhodos static library. Whenever we have to compile our code, first we have to generate the Rhodos library. So there on the command line, we also have to do the same thing. So we will generate the Rhodos library with the command. So the command is Rhodos -lib and .sh. So this is the script which contains all the instruction to compile the Rhodos library, but we have to specify with for what architecture. So we have different architecture, for example, AVR, Linux, Windows, and here we have discovery board. So we will write discovery. So this is an option over there in our system, that whenever you want to compile the library for discovery board, you have to run this script Rhodos -lib.sh discovery and enter. So there is a problem in the spelling. So I'll write this and then press tab, and then the default parameter with this is coming. So now if I enter it, so now the Rhodos library is being compiled. If you remember, when we had Eclipse there, whenever we run this by right click it and build, then it took some time to compile the static library for Rhodos. So here the same thing is happening. When we type this Rhodos minus dot lib dot sh dash lib dot sh and gave the architecture name, so then now it takes some time and compile the Rhodos libraries. Everything is fine without an error. Then it will compile the Rhodos library in a matter of second. This is the only library that you have to do. Support lib is automatically created. In our Eclipse, we had two libraries. One, Rhodos is the most, and support lib. Here we only need to do the Rhodos minus lib, and support lib will come automatically with that. So now you are ready. Rhodos library is already developed for the particular architecture. So go to the place where you have your code or file. So for example, change drive, I go to the place. So here, if you go to the Rhodos, then if you see my code is here, and here is only one file. There can be multiple files. So first we created the library, and now we are going to compile our code, so, or our thread. So the instruction for this is Rhodos minus executable dot sh, give the architecture, which architecture you are working. We are working with discovery board, and then you can type the name of the file with its extension, or I type static.cpp, whatever cpp file you want to work with. So static.cpp, and as soon as right now you can see that there is only this file, but as soon as we execute it, and if there is no error in this file, and this file is nothing but a simple hello world program which you already had it. So if it's working fine without any problem, no error is there, and as soon as you hit it, then right now these are only warnings, no error. You can see no error. And if you look into this folder where your file was, now there is additional file tst. This is an executable file which is produced by the command that you have typed, Rhodos minus executable dot sh for a discovery board, and you compile this hello world.cpp file. So as a result, you created this executable file for Linux. So now we have to change this executable file from this format, whatever tst format is, it is a Linux executable, to the binary file. And the command for this is also not very difficult. The command for this is this one: arm minus non minus ebi minus obj object copy minus capital S is an option you have to put, minus O for output, and then output in the binary format. And then the input file, in our case this is tst, and now we want to convert this file into the binary file. So my executable .bin is my name, what I have given with .bin extension. And as soon as you enter, then look back into the folder, now you see I have my executable.bin file. This is a file which we directly put onto this board what we have. So right now, if you see, this is the board what we are working right now. So how we can program this board? So with the command line, it's also without Eclipse and without OpenOCD and without this Eclipse tool chain which we have seen, just by the command line. So now we have our binary file ready. So we have to put this file into the discovery board. So if you look into the Linux, this discovery board is also having some sort of the property of a storage device. As soon as you connect it, then it becomes like a USB storage device. So that is a really good thing, that we can directly put this binary file over there without doing anything. Let's see how you do that. So now we have this binary file already there with my executable.bin. Then if you go to this location, for example, here I can go again with this terminal, that change drive, and then change drive media, change drive media, sorry, change drive, after home, change, go to one location back, change drive media, and now change drive Rhodos. And then here, if you see ls, there you will find this is the disk F407VG. If you go to this location and just type, I mean, right now, just type change drive and then go to this. Here you will see these two files. This is the storage device as overboard. So you just can type pwd. This is called path. So now I have the path of my discovery board, which was I just got by typing pwd, and copy this path. Just copy it only one time, and then come to the place where you have compiled your executable file. So my executable binary file is there. So now I will copy like this CPP file, copy this binary file. So I will say copy my executable.bin. Where should I copy? To the location of my discovery board, which I just got the path over there. So this is the path of my discovery board. As soon as I copy over there, when execute, you will see that this flashing light will be there, which will show that our program is being running. So right now this is an old program. So first let's see. As soon as I hit it, now you see what it say, cannot create regular permission denied. Wait a second. So I copy this CPP to my location, permission denied, or if I just type this sudo su Rhodos and then copy this. Wait a second. Copy my file to this location. So I type my login with sudo su. Now I have the permission. Now you see that this file is right there. The board is recently programmed. So let's do it again. So this is the so this is the place where we have run this command. Now let me run this command. So as soon as I run this command, I want to see this guy also right there. So let me see, where is my okay. So if I just press this command again, and you will see that this flashing light will be, I mean, toggle, and then that is, so right now it's not visible from there. So but if you just push this command, then this code will be executed right there, and you can see the output in the edge term. So this is how you can use Eclipse. I mean, how can use command line without using Eclipse to flash your code and also to compile your code. So it will really solve the problem regarding the Eclipse configuration, OpenOCD connection, disconnection, and so on. Thank you.